Hello. Today I like to talk about the current conflict situation of Korea, and perhaps, if I have time, some of Venezuela. Now, if we think about Korea, we have to think about the problem that Korea represents for the United States. Now, Korea happened to develop a very weak nuclear deterrence. Let's see that they may have about 20 atomic bombs, perhaps, who knows. But scientific think that they have about 450 kilograms of plutonium. Now think this amount. In the height of the Cold War, the United States had 100,000 kilograms and the Soviet Union something alike. So 450 kilograms of plutonium is not much. Is not a challenge for the United States. Now, Korea, the problem with Korea comes from the aftermath of the Second World War. Korea was controlled and occupied by Japan. Now, after the Second World War, Korea was divided because they have the influence of the Soviet Union. China was not a communist country until the year 48. Now, in the year 50, Korea launched an invasion to the south, and the United Nations responded with what they call it a police action. So the United Nations sends from many countries troops, but by the time at the very beginning, North Korea were able to push the forces to let's say encircle them close with the port of Busan. Now the United States, they did what they always did, especially in Salerno in Italy, Anzio and Salerno. They had the Marines attacking behind in Pyongyang, and then they were able to drove them to the North Korean close to the border with China. That's when China got into the fray. In those days, MacArthur wanted to bomb the Yalu River with atomic bombs, and then he was removed by President Truman. So the nuclear option for the United States is always open. Now this president also threatened the Koreans with sort of indirectly with an attack to a nuclear attack. Now, why Korea is developing this very small nuclear force? Because it's a deterrent. Because they can cause unacceptable damage, political unacceptable damage to the United States if they can throw a bomb in Hawaii on one, or even in the western part of the United States for a big city. Of course, the United States will obliterate Korea in a matter of hours. So the ruling dynasty of Korea I don't think they are suicidal. They want to stay on power. They don't like to end up like Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi. Noriega also. They used to work for the United States. Noriega for the CIA. Saddam Hussein collaborated with the United States attacking Iran after the Ayatollah took power in a very long war. Gaddafi fall into the trap. He put all his assets in London and I think something in New York. He got into the trap of when he wanted to change to trade in not in dollars, and he wanted to have a African gold-backed monetary system. That's a different story. Well, the Koreans, they learned the lessons and they know that the only way to prevent an invasion from the United States is to have some sort, even a small one, nuclear deterrence. Let's think if Iran, which have been threatened by Israel times and times over. Israel, they say they have 200 atomic bombs and they have the triad. Submarines, air force and missiles. And they threaten Iran. They can threaten the whole area. They can wipe out the whole Middle East. They can even attack Europe. They have a Jericho missile, they go 5,000 kilometers. Does it? But I say this in order to clarify things. If Iran had 10 or 20 nuclear bombs, they will not threaten to invade it or attack them because they can retaliate. So this is the situation. Of course, the nuclear powers, China, United States, France, England, Russia, which are members of the Security Council and they have the veto power, of course they like to have the monopoly. Now, the United States would like to weaken Russia. I said this so many times, in order to control Russia and weaken their capabilities in order to surpass them. China is not a threat to the United States because they may have about 200 or 300 atomic bombs, but they have this as a deterrence also. So those keeps the relative peace in the world. Now the problem is that they would like to have Korea with denuclearized, and then they invade it or weaken or change regimes, and Korea has trillions and trillions of minerals, and they like to grab those minerals. Now Russia and China, even South Korea, South Korea would like to regime change and to control North Korea, and they become a nuclear power. That Japan would not like that because they distrust so much each other. Japanese are different from Koreans, Koreans are different from Chinese, Chinese are of course we have another power which is India. So problems that are from ancient history, they are still alive today. So it seems that As a race, as a human race, we didn't learn much. We have developed technological possibilities. Now, having said that, I don't think the government of Korea is suicidal. So, and the president of the United States is a dangerous personality, because he might, I don't think he might launch an attack in Korea. I don't think so. But it's unpredictable. Now, this is the situation, the current situation in the Korean Peninsula. And a conventional war, nobody's interested in having a war, not even conventional. Might be catastrophic as well. Now, Korea as a communist country proves that when a country has one objective and all the resources are in achieving that objective, those can be done. So although they don't have much resources, but they have a powerful army, and outdated, of course, but it's powerful. And they have a very, very small nuclear deterrence, large enough to have concerns in the USA. And the unification of Korea is something that the United States may like to have it in order to get all those minerals, but it's not in the interest of Russia, it's not in the interest of China, and it's not in the interest of Japan. So from that perspective, the Korean Peninsula will go on like this for the time being and for the future. Who can tell? The other communist countries, they always rely on the party, the armed forces, and the leader. And they have a leadership based on the personality cult, like something like a religions. And they've been doing this for the last 50 years. And they indoctrinate children. And they manipulate. Now, people are easily manipulated. We see in the democratic world, so-called democratic world, the great majority are workers that are people with not a higher education. Of course, they understand everything, but they're not. Although they may be able to think, but they are concerned with practical matters. So their abstract thinking or systemic thinking, that's not the main problem in life. They're trying with very simple problems with their lives, and they are easily manipulated. So you see oligarchs get elected. See in South America, in many parts of the world, South America, they elect oligarchs that will not help the great majority, of course not. Same thing in the United States, they have an oligarch which will not help the great majority. They are thinking in capitalist terms, because they are truly capitalist. Even the middle classes, they support them. So my impression is that in Korea, every once in a while we have this crisis. And people, there are some interest in the crisis because those crises fuel the military complex in the United States. That I will talk about this in another brief talk. So Korea might be the fuse, and then everything will go on like at the present times. And of course they will try to change the regime and all those maneuvers, and they try to reach an agreement. But I doubt that the Koreans, North Koreans, I'm talking about North Korean, will disarm their nuclear arsenal, because it might be suicidal for their leadership, unless they fell in the trap. But that's a different story, and time will tell us. Thank you.